It's Friday, and you're here with Rhino and Joe on the After Show show.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's a scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's a scenario? Hey, yo, Bono's at what? And Bono's at what? All right.
The After show right here on Extra 106.3, the YouTube channel. This might become a show that, I don't know, we replace Glenn Beck. I doubt that's going to happen, but I'm going to bring in my co-host. You don't have to run. It's not that exciting, Joe.
I'm so excited.
I don't even think
I've
it's
never
live.
Been so excited in my
I'm
life.
on YouTube. I don't even see it on YouTube. So
it's live.
I don't believe
We're
you.
streaming.
Oh, I need to be able to see it, and I can't find it, and I don't know why. Okay, let's go to
Should I run back? I'm really fast.
Okay, there we go. The After show. Perfect. All right, we're here. Good.
Lovely. What a week.
So anybody who wants to get in, and yeah, we're going to talk about that week. So anybody who wants to get involved, you could call us, 404-741-1230. We'll try to answer the phones and bring you in. We also will welcome you on our chat box, and we'll talk to you there as well. There's been a lot going on, and I haven't been here for the past 2 weeks, Joe, because I've been on kind of a vacation. You're just trying to take some weekends.
We did all right without you.
Yeah.
We lived.
No,
did you
I
watch
did.
it?
No, I don't care.
Hell no. I wouldn't
care.
either.
No. One of the things that, you know, the purpose of this show is to kind of talk about behind the scenes, what was going on, what things happened during the week. Nothing exciting really happened like behind the scenes. I don't think anybody got fired. We did lose all our interns, so I do want to say to our good friend Andrew. Do you?
Yeah.
He was doing all your work for you.
No, so he's doing the Foxvilles, and if you hear him, it's like House Call for Health and Securing America and the Speaker's Lobby and Media Matters. All those that I have to put in. I forgot to put them in one day. I got a text from Tug and Flounder. They're like, Joe, you have to put in the Foxvilles. I'm like, sorry, I forgot. Andrew's been doing them. So, whatever. That he also like.
Well, that's because you suck at your job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But he also like wrote the times for when Tug does the our sponsors.
So I mean, it wasn't that long that
like
Andrew was here.
Much. He was here for a month, dude.
And you can't remember after a month how to go back and do your job?
I just got out of the habit. I mean, I did it the rest of the week. It was just one day.
This is part of my problem with you guys now. The ages of 20 to 25 is
that I may forget something one time.
One time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you forget things more often than you think, but...
Well, yeah, I do.
Or mess up. I mean, we all mess up.
Yeah.
But I think you guys, like, you've lost part of your brain.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah, I think you guys are just... I honestly think our youth is dumber today than they've ever been before in my life. At the same time, I think, like, technology-wise, way smarter, which is weird.
It's all relative, because in a lot of ways, they're smarter, but in a lot of ways, they're dumber. And that's really kind of it for the history of humanity. But every generation, for as long as humans have lived, they're like, kids today, they're so stupid. They don't know how tough we had it. They don't know what's up like we do. And I already see it with people my age are like, oh, Gen Alpha, they have no respect. They don't care at all. They don't know how easy they have it. And I'm like, dude, everyone's been saying that about us, and everybody said it about the millennials, and everybody said it about Gen Z, and so on and so forth for as long as we've been doing stuff.
That's stuff that gets passed down. Good afternoon, I guess it is. Joshua Miller, he's watching. Thank God it's Friday. I'm so excited it's Friday. I can't wait till Friday every single week. But at the same time, like, I love coming in. I love being here for all these big events that are going on. And right now in political history, it's the craziest time I think I've ever lived through. So, you know, and I'm probably going to bring in some of the kids that are here because I think it's really important to hear from some of these young kids. And I might just send you out there to grab people. Yeah, the youths. And we might bring them in and make them one-on-one. Why are you sitting like that, by the way? Like, it looks on camera.
Have you noticed, like... Yeah, that's just how I sit. Have you noticed how I sit?
This is how you sit?
In there? In the booth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sit real weird. I'll do crisscross applesauce.
Okay, that I understand. But this look that you have on right now, like...
I'll do this quite often.
That is so... Like, that I get.
This is usually how I sit. Or I was doing this today.
Okay.
Sitting monkeys.
But what you just were sitting looked like I don't know. You were going to transition at some point.
I don't even know how I was sitting. You could hear all my movements.
I hope you go back and look at this because it's almost embarrassing.
What, was I doing this?
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
I don't. It looks a little.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going like. I'm not crushing.
It looks just as bad as that.
I'm not crushing my ball sack.
It looks just as bad as that. Let's talk about some of the things going on for the past 2 weeks. And this is where I really like to kind of get into people's heads and find out what they're thinking. But we obviously know the assassination attempt was really bad. We understand that. I think a lot of people throughout the United States looked at this and said, this is a really disturbing time. Gen Z, I don't know how they felt about it. And that's one of those things where when you first heard about it, where were you? What were you doing?
Oh, I was working over on the Braves radio network. It was the pregame show, and K-Mac was out, and it was Wiley Ballard in. And we just got to break, and Wiley just speaks in my ear. He goes, Trump just got shot. And I'm like, oh, my initial thought was, oh my God, somebody actually tried it. Because I was kind of under the assumption of like, I'm sure somebody's going to try to murk this dude.
Yeah.
And
why did you think that? Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought so only because I've been doing this for such a long time.
I mean, it is the rhetoric of like what, because people are like, he's Hitler. And it's like, you go back in time, would you kill baby Hitler? Like, that's the question. And so I'm sure somebody was like, just do it. Or, crazy people do crazy stuff. And taking, the narrative as is, it just seems like this dude's crazy pants and wanted attention. And you ever heard of the musical Assassins?
No.
It's amazing. It's Stephen Sondheim, and it's about every person who's tried to or did assassinate a president. And it kind of goes into why does somebody do that? What makes somebody want to do that, especially here in America? And you listen to all the songs. I've never seen it. I've just listened to the songs. And it's like, oh, every person has their own separate reason. It's not for one thing. It's this culmination.
So what do you think? Because you're boring the hell out of me with this? Because
well, it's like take John.
I don't want to watch a musical about assassins. It sounds horrible. But let's talk about. So you think I want to go back to what you said because I think my first impression is yes, the rhetoric of the left, the rhetoric of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and really every single leader, Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, may her whatever. I don't even care. But these people who have continually called him Hitler. You're right. The people who have said we need to take him out, we need to put a bullseye on him. I absolutely 100% agree that, hey, this is the rhetoric that drives these kids crazy. Why do you think that, though, kids now more than ever? Because I think this has led to a guy driving through a Christmas parade in Waukesha. I think all the rhetoric
it's like school
that they
shooters. I mean, I think it's the same kind of mindset or craziness or whatever's going through those demented
But what's
people.
going on with you kids that this is because this didn't happen when I was younger. We didn't hear about, was there probably
It's isolation.
Isolation. So do you think it became from the pandemic?
No, isolation was we were becoming a much more isolated world even before that. You can sit in your room all day and be on your phone and not talk to anyone, but you're still connected, and you enter this microcosm of, I've talked about this before, you enter a microcosm of your own creation.
Right.
You seek out things that will affirm you.
Okay.
I guess, your mentalities. And that leads to extremism.
So while you're sitting in your room, you're playing on your social media accounts, and maybe you're on Twitter, you're probably on Threads or whatever it may be. Or maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Snapchat. I don't know, but
whatever.
When you're sitting in a room by yourself, is it because you don't have the outlet socially to say, "Hey, this thing"?
I think it's conditioning.
You think it's conditioning? What do you mean?
Well, all of those apps are designed to make you want to stay on them as long as possible.
Okay,
but then there's also the fact of, you could tell this kid, you look at him, he was definitely bullied.
Oh, he was definitely picked on. I can
when
look at
you
him.
have that kind of where you're not still forced to go and try, and you can go, I'm getting bullied. I don't care. Screw it. I'm just gonna isolate myself to not be bullied. Then it's better than the alternative of facing that, to where you can have some, even though it's not perceived happiness or perceived acceptance.
But you don't think bullying has been around since I was bullied throughout all of high school? I never went out and wanted to kill anybody.
It's what you do afterwards. Because beforehand it wasn't, you still had to go to school. You still had to do things and see people. You did not have the opportunity of isolation that you do now.
Right.
And maybe some did, but like it was much harder to do. Now everybody does it, and it's a norm.
Joshua says parents' lack of fathers, lack of discipline is killing society. I absolutely agree. We don't discipline our kids. We're so afraid. You know, like my dad and mom were really good.
That's been said for generations and generations.
Doesn't matter, but it's completely different now, because I'm telling you right now, we didn't have these school shootings. We didn't go into schools. We didn't think we weren't even as violent. I mean, even our bullying wasn't as violent. We didn't come to school with, I mean, maybe every once in a while you heard about someone bringing a knife, but really it was going up, mano y mano, punch you in the nose, punch you in the face, it's over, we're done. We didn't get to the point
where...
You
didn't have any alternatives.
What do you mean we didn't have any alternatives?
What was an alternative to that kind of bullying?
What do you mean?
The world has changed. You can't, or instead of having a face-to-face interaction of, this guy's bullying me, I'm going to fight him, or he's going to fight me.
Right.
You do it without even seeing the people.
Okay, so you're saying because you're online now, so what you're saying is social media and everything, because you're online, you can hide behind a keyboard. That bullying has made you guys crazier?
The game has changed. All right. The thing that leads to depression, and this is my whole point, it's all isolation. It's not being in, and this is where some of the discipline has to do too. Put your kids in groups. Put them in a sport or theater or whatever, just to get them around kids, not in front of a computer. Isolation is the breeding ground for depression. It's the breeding ground for anxiety.
Okay, but you don't think we were isolated if we didn't have friends? It's more, let me tell you what's more isolating.
No, you were.
We were more isolated than you guys were, because if I had no friends, I only had one person to talk to. And then if I did want to talk to that person, I'd have to call their home line. And if it was busy or their mom was on, or they said, hey, don't keep the line tied up, hang up, you're even more isolated. You had nowhere to go, no one to talk to.
Could you go online to then have the entirety of every thought of every person?
Absolutely not. Well, okay.
And that's now, when I
was growing up, yes. We could go online now. Would it take forever to be in one of these chat rooms on Prodigy or whatever? Yeah, absolutely. But we were able to do that. We also had call-in lines, phones that you called in, and you would have those. Hey, my name is Scott. My ASL, age, sex, length, location. These are the kind of things we dealt with. The same things. Now, did we have the absolute quick? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Send me a picture. Send me a picture. No, we couldn't do that. But we had the ability to talk to people. We had the ability to be.
It took work. It not work, but it took an effort.
I just don't understand.
Rather than.
Yeah, I understand that. I just don't understand why you guys are crazier than we are today. Hi, Tammy. Great to hear from you. Great to see you out here on YouTube as well. And if you guys want to call in at any time, 404-741-1230. Hopefully I'll see. We have a little button over here and I'm able to hit and call people. But I just don't. There's no excuse to where it's got to be more about what's going on or what's being fed to you guys. You guys are more malleable. You've been given that opportunity right now where when you're isolated, it's more about...
And then you find that.
Well, hold on. Let me say, because you're not listening to what I'm saying. When you're being isolated, you're now being isolated and then being told your isolation is bad, it's because of this person, go kill them. I don't understand where just because you guys have the ability to actually speak to people and reach out for help more than I did when I was younger, because I couldn't reach out for help to someone and say, hey, or do what you kids do, which right now is so annoying sometimes. It's always about me, the individual. So you guys put out there feeling sad today. And then everybody goes, oh, Joe, why are you feeling so sad? What can we do for you? If you need me, I'm right here for you, blah, blah, blah. If I was sad, I was in my room, it was dark, it was sad. I mean, you would think that we, in our generation...
you had to deal with those emotions and cope with them, but rather than getting affirmation from others.
Okay, so because you get affirmation...
That's a more healthy way of coping with things.
You think it's healthier to be stuck by yourself and be a loner and then being picked on every day? You don't think the thoughts... There's no one to tell you, don't go shoot up your school.
There's no one to tell you to go shoot up your school either.
So you're saying that people So people
if online, if you're feeding for attention, it's vapid. It doesn't mean anything.
I understand that, but what you're telling me that when you put that out there that you're feeling mad, you've been bullied, you've been this, you've been that, they tell you, hey, go shoot up your school, and you go, okay, I'll go do it?
No, it's finding ways to cope with isolation or cope with depression or cope with anxiety. It doesn't come from, eating. It doesn't come from whatever, affirmation from online. It doesn't come from others. It comes from yourself. Mm-hmm. The opportunity we have for other things is intense to get your derived happiness or self-worth from. Mm-hmm. So with these kids, if they see,
so if you're on there and you're like, I feel bad,
stuff up, and they see,
so
they
become famous.
A bunch of kids on TV. It's like, that's a lot of attention. I'm lacking attention, and eventually 2 meets 2.
Okay. But that would have happened with us. In fact, we'd be on the TV more than they are today. Because if we were to do that, it would be a way bigger story. And it did happen. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even Columbine was way before probably a lot of this stuff. And maybe that's where it started. But again, we were already online at that point. We were already doing things. So, yeah, there is no discipline anymore for these kids. And maybe that's what it is, because people feel like they're bigger and better than the moment and that they're going to get away with everything. And that, especially, do you think that police environment or the, hey... you can go and destroy property like we saw yesterday in Washington, D.C. All these people were let out.
Yeah.
It's got to be
I would blame more the parents than police of that.
Yeah, it's definitely the parents.
Yeah. But to just, go do whatever you want, no consequences is never a good teaching method.
And that definitely came up in our parental environment, because if I were to go back, and I think a lot of people, my age might look back and go, the fact that we had to play participation trophy and everybody's a winner and nobody's a loser, nobody ever loses in life, I think that really did start to stir people to go, well, I've never lost a game in my life. I've never lost in my life. I always got a trophy, and now I'm not getting one. Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. I mean, I think that's kind of where the stubbornness came about, everybody deserves to be a winner and nobody can be a loser.
I guess.
I think I learned most of my lessons from not winning every single time.
Oh, yeah. You definitely learn way more when you lose.
How to cope.
How to cope with losing. How to improve. How to better yourself, way more with mistakes. But to have things as win and lose is, I think, a very black and white term of thinking. So and like the participation trophies, I think 90% of people are like, it's dumb. Who cares?
Right.
Whatever. I think the black and white thinking is bad, though, because it's like, you lose, you're a loser. I can't win anymore. It's like, okay, use that losing to then get better. Learn what you lose from. And I think there's a lot of, and this is just to combat it just a little bit, there's a lot of people who don't say, learn from the loss. It's just,
okay, that's bad coaching.
Yeah,
because I've never been taught that way. I've never been coddled to the point where I had a coach who would make
But I don't think that's coddling. It's not coddling. It's like when a coach goes and yells at you, hey, guys, you lost. This is what you did wrong. Let's work on that in
No. What I'm
Practice
saying
the
is
next-
we were never coddled when I was younger. It was always, hey, we're going to get better. It's okay. Nobody was like, nobody ever said you're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. I mean, there are bad parents out there. There are bad coaches out there throughout time that probably have. And I'm not, but I think a majority of the coaches out there realize, guys, this is why we lost. What we need to do is you better start listening more at practice. You better start practicing more at home. You better start doing this. You got up and you worked harder every single time.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I don't think I've ever come across a coach in my entire life that sat there and
perception.
goes, well, you're just a loser.
I'm not even talking necessarily about sports, but it's the perception of the age. It's like going too hard on an 8-year-old and yelling at them, going, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And it's like, whoa. Just bring it up a little more gently.
Yeah, I mean, that's just bad parenting, though.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's
that
everybody's.
happens,
but nowadays, it's, hey, guys, we can't talk about, this team being a loser. They get a trophy, too, and we're going to celebrate them just as much, when we should be saying, guys, if you want to have that trophy, you need to work harder. You need to be better. You need to be stronger. It's okay to lose. It's okay never to. Not everybody can be a winner in life. Some of you are going to lose, and that's just the way that the world is going to work for you for the rest. I don't understand what's wrong with that nowadays.
Yeah. Have you heard of Norwegian youth sports?
No.
How they teach kids sports in Norway?
No.
So per capita, Norway has the most gold medals per person, the most professional athletes per person.
Well, they have 17 people in that state. Country.
So, and I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't really know, the best ways of parenting. I'm not a parent. I'm just a kid. Or coaching, really. I've done I took a class in college, whatever. And they taught us a bunch of different ways. They don't have winners or losers until the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you do before that is simply just to learn fundamentals. So you have scrimmages in your immediate thing. You have tournament scrimmages in your immediate area. And the only the focus is not win or lose. The focus is simply to get better, to improve.
Yeah.
As a tool. I think
isn't that what we do every day in sports? Why can't you play games and practice? I grew up practicing 3 times a week.
But rather than even having winners or losers, they just have scrimmages. They don't have any trophies for anyone.
That's stupid.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's dumb. That's why they'll never be the greatest football nation in the world, or baseball, or any. I'm glad they can downhill ski.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
That they have the most gold medals.
Gold medals for what?
Mainly winter sports.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
they also have the best soccer player in the world.
So they have one.
They've got a lot of good soccer players.
Okay,
but
soccer means nothing either to me. But in soccer, so you're saying that even growing up in soccer, they don't get medals?
No.
They still get medals now. Why? So then why not just give up 14, why not just give up those medals?
Starting at age 14 is when they start winning and losing.
Yeah. But again, all of the medals they have are individual sports, and most of, especially in Norway, like you said, it's winter. It's
mainly soccer. For their team sports, it's soccer and handball.
That's it. Handball. By the way, I watched handball yesterday. Dumbest thing I've ever seen.
You don't like it?
No, stupid.
It's kind of fun.
Stupid. It's not oh God, it's such a dumb sport.
Yeah.
It is. They're trying to make sports
stupid.
easy. Yeah, it's just silly.
Did you see that esports is going to be in the Olympics?
No. See, again, we're just wasting time. This is the problem with
it's not even a sport.
What are you going to have, drone racing next?
You're going to have some fat guy eating Doritos in the Olympics.
I'm not ready for that. All right, let me read some of these comments here real quick. Yeah, Tammy, I was bullied also in grade school. Never felt a need to retaliate. It's got to be an environment. Nobody coddled. If I lost something, I licked my wounds and moved on. I'm the youngest of 5. Heck, my tennis team sucked. I lettered in tennis, but here I am. Keith Wendy Johnson said, gently, that's why everybody is so soft today. What about dodgeball? I would take dodgeball, Tammy, in the Olympics, because at least that's
dodgeball in the Olympics would be great.
Yeah, the problem I had with handball is you're running, you're dribbling sometimes. They made it so easy, and then you jump and throw a ball.
The ball's really small.
It's dumb.
but it's like
It's so
palms up.
dumb.
I don't know. It seems like a kid's game.
We were
But
trying to
granted,
figure
you go to other sports, it seems like a kid's game, I guess.
what does.
Handball or like
Anybody can play handball. Anybody could play European
soccer is
handball.
it's like a kid's game, you know?
Well, soccer is
kick the
dumb to
ball.
me anyway. I mean,
Baseball. I hit the ball with the stick, and we have these
Okay.
like weird individual.
You're
like,
hitting the ball
odd
at
rules.
90 miles per
They're
hour.
all just games.
Soccer, you've got to have. Well, I understand that, but
Yeah.
when you break it down to the easiest level of a game, which is European handball, like, hey,
You think that's the
you can
easiest?
run, throw it to each other, catch it, and throw it, and whatever.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
easier than soccer, rugby, football.
Yeah.
From the looks of it, I don't know. I've never
Tammy's-
played it before.
Tammy, that was Adam, who Adam and I are going to be coming back with our show over on our channel as soon as possible. And I've reset up my channel too. If, you guys would go and subscribe to that as well. It's at Extremism, XSTREAMISM.
Oh, I see what you
Kind
did
of a
there.
little joke there on the fact that we're called extremists
Very
every
funny.
single day. And I'm streaming, so extremism. Adam will be back. We'll be having fun on those shows, talking more politics and having fun with that as well. I've got a lot of people ready to go. I'll also be a guest on Candace Taylor's show this weekend. Jesus, Guns, and Baby. She asked me to come on, and we talked
Have we
a
had
lot.
her on?
Yes, we've had her on many times. She will have me on will be on the Stu Peters network and also on Mike Lindell's network as well. So Frank's Speech. So I'll be on this weekend with Candace Taylor over there. So we're going to continue doing a lot of streaming and talking. I love the fact, can you go grab me maybe one of the girls?
Okay.
Go grab me one of them, bring them in. We need to find out more from girls now because we found out from Joe what we need to do. And Joe, we're just going to, you still come back in here and sit in that chair instead, okay?
Okay.
And I don't think we've gotten any phone calls, so no big deal. But you can call in 404-741-1230 if you want to talk with us. There's a lot going on. I want to hear from you guys out there, too, who are watching and chatting with me. This is live. As we are live on the channel, I wonder where people are starting to think where this election is going to go, because right now I'm scared that Kamala Harris is going to get that vote that I don't think we really need in this country, because we're not talking about the things that need to be talked about, which are, what are the issues? What are the issues that we need to focus on? I'll tell you right now, my biggest issue, it's always been, and if you listen to Extra 106.3 in the morning here in Atlanta, you'll know energy is number one to me. And I love that Donald Trump keeps coming out and saying, drill, baby, drill, because we cannot give up our ability to really capitalize on the world's energy. And that's most important. I think the second thing is the economy to me, and having somebody who knows how to run the economy. All right, good. We're bringing in Bella. That girl, Bella, come on. Get in here.
What? I'm coming.
Come on.
Know any of them.
And if you haven't seen Bella before, and I'm sure you have if you've been watching the show, what?
No headphones.
Put on you don't need headphones. You
Okay.
can hear me. Unless somebody calls and wants to talk to you, then we'll get you headphones.
Okay.
Bella is here with us. She's been on the ASShow show very often, and we like having you. And so we're talking about, and I haven't been here for the past 2 weeks, so you guys may have talked about this a little bit, but I want to get into, over the past 2 weeks, we saw a president almost get assassinated, a former president. We saw a president step down, and then we have Kamala Harris being installed as the president. I want to know, as somebody who's not into politics that much, but also does kind of maybe pay attention now that you're here, talk about what is your thought going into November? Are you interested in this at all? Any of the political talk? Do you follow it? Do you care?
I think it's like a trend on Instagram and like TikTok to like, if you're a woman, to be behind Kamala Harris. And
Okay.
it's like the president like debate has become more of like I don't think like people are taking it serious anymore.
So when they say, so what do they say? If you're a woman, be behind Kamala. Why?
There's like no reasoning. Like it's just like people are making like trends on TikTok to like just support her because she's a woman and have like a woman in office. But before in a debate and like chaos.
I mean, the funny part is being here for as long as I've been around compared to you guys. when I go and I look back and say, hey, this is probably the craziest time I've ever lived in my life when it came to politics. Now, I was there when Reagan was shot.
See, like I don't remember. Like I
Right,
don't.
of course.
Yeah, I was like too young.
Yeah, of course you guys were. So
2008, 2012.
Yeah, I was like
2016.
I was like-
2016 was
I was
like, oh, this is
8.
crazy.
Yeah, I was like 7.
And-
what was crazy about 2016? What do
It's
you
like,
mean?
oh, Hillary and Trump. Trump's the
Okay.
I think
dude from
that one.
That, and now looking back, it's like, that was pretty tame.
That I was actually during that whole debate. I was on an 8th grade trip to Washington D.C. and I was like there during that whole like debate. Not like not saying when the debate happened, but when that whole year of election was
Trump
happening.
versus Hillary.
And it was really
Topic here with Kamala. So I'm going to get back to Kamala, but I want to stay on this. Was he very upset that they destroyed the Liberty Bell and he wanted to go out there and say, hey, this has to stop?
yeah, like it's almost just like an American thing. Like I grew up going like on field trips to Philly and like learning about history, and I'm not someone that like is really into like history, but like I know right from wrong. And so I think people these days like expressing how they feel about everything going on in the world is like kind of like dangerous.
Okay, so he's afraid that if he posts something against what they said, what are they going to do to him? What is he afraid of?
I think he's just scared of the future. Like I just scared like I don't think he's necessarily like thinks something's gonna happen, but like
Just like people calling him an a-hole.
Well, no, I think people are just so crazy these days that people take things like if you see anything online, like even with like TV shows or people they don't like people are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like people go into people's lives, call people's work, call people's jobs, like even like I know this is kind of
okay, so the doxing is what he's afraid of because
like, pretty much
Makes a lot of sense.
well, because you guys will lose jobs now. I mean, it depends on what side you're on. See, if I say something about, I know 2 people here in the state of Georgia, and a lot of you don't watch from Georgia, but 2 people here, one of them who is Stacey Abrams' political campaign, part of her campaign. In fact, hold on. You know what? I'm going to read this because I get messages all the time, and the messages that come in, I'm like, wow. From people. Okay, so Scott Grubman, who is a member of the Democratic Party of Georgia and is Jewish, and he's part of Georgia's executive committee, took exception to a post that Stephanie Jackson, oh, geez, I just lost it. Hold on, I got to do this again. Stephanie Jackson Ali, and I need my glasses because I'm an old man. So we all know what's going on with Israel and the protests. And so Kamala Harris puts out a notice, or I guess a statement, saying that she did not like the rhetoric, even though she's the one who started all this rhetoric by saying they can come out and show their emotion. And she wrote, so what she did was take this out and make it look like Jews are bad and ask for the terrorist state of Israel, and they blacked out what they wanted and put it up. And then when this gentleman who's Jewish said this is basically anti-Semitic, Serena Alami Varghese, who is she is this Democrat who is a woman, I can't say who she's related to, or she's the wife of the general counsel of the Georgia Democratic Party, said to him, person on the same side, I mean this with all due disrespect. Go kill yourself, Scott. That's your Democrat Party, by the way.
Not cool.
Telling people to kill people, telling people. Now, the policy director of Stacey Abrams, who is Stephanie Jackson Ali, feel more than welcome to go find her at New Georgia Project. This is Stacey Abrams' policy director, is spewing anti-Semitism. This is the world that we've come to, that it's okay to hate certain people, but feel like, oh gosh, if you say anything about me, that's wrong. That's the scary part to me of what's going on now. You kids should be scared because this is the kind of rhetoric telling you guys to go kill yourself because of a personal opinion or being attacked or being called in or doxxed in any way. So I do get that you guys are scared of that.
The one thing that like makes me really annoyed, and I kind of will stand by this, I don't really like protest all you want. Like I'm not involved. You could protest whatever you want. You can say how you feel.
Sure.
But like as someone who had multiple people that are veterans in my family, you just don't burn down the American flag. Even if you do not like this country, it's just one of those things you just don't do. Even like the Liberty Bell, like you just don't do it.
What's the point of it?
And also too, it's like you can spread your message by just protesting. I know you guys want to do more things and get more attention. Do what you want to do, but no one's asking you to live here, and no one's asking you to do right. Like, you know what I mean? There's a different. You all grew up what's right and wrong.
Okay, so you're
damaging
thinking
property.
It's just like it
I
doesn't
don't
get
dig
you
that.
anywhere. What? End up in jail and you're still screaming? Like,
Yeah.
I think if you're burning the flag and not damaging property, it's a good form of protest because it pisses people off.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think burning the flag. Now, my problem with what they did, you want to burn the flag, burn the flag. Make sure it's your flag. You don't go up to public property, rip
Totally.
it. Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I don't want to see you burn the flag. I think you're disgusting if you do, and I think you should leave if you don't like this country. It's not going to change anything by being trolls, and that's exactly what you kids have become, are social media trolls in real life. You're going out there, you're destroying property. You don't care about anybody else's property. You're getting let out easily. You within the same day of breaking things or doing this kind of stuff, they let them out of jail. I want to get back to Kamala. So, are you going to vote in this election coming up?
I want to, but that's like if, I can get my ballot here in time. And
Okay, I understand.
I've had mail stolen, so.
Yeah, it's mail. The whole postal service, government run. Of
I'm
course,
still
so it's a
missing my
problem.
graduation card.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so sad. Okay, so what are the most important things to you? I mean, if you're going to vote, what do you want out of the person you're voting for? What do you want them to work on for you?
Fix this fucking economy. Everything is so fucking expensive.
I love it. Okay, so the economy, and any of you who are watching this is YouTube. This isn't going over the air, so we're allowed to curse and we're allowed to say the F word and whatever we want. So don't feel bad about that. And it's adult talk. So the economy is number one. What is your biggest fear? Like, what are you struggling with as someone who when did you graduate? Let's
May.
This May. So you just get out. What? And I assume, do you want a family? What is your future plans? What are you working towards?
I mean, like, yes, like I want a family and I want to get married. That's something I do want. But it's like I almost am like at a point. It's like I can't afford it anymore. It's so scary and like
Kids are so expensive.
Well, yeah, having a kid here is like
Insane.
$30,000.
Oh, that's just diapers.
Yeah, like it's
Right.
It's
I mean,
stupid expensive.
okay.
And you go to like Canada, it's like free.
Okay, so
It's like maybe you'll have a Canadian baby.
what do you need to hear about the economy? Like, if
Just
somebody
level
just said,
it
"Hey, I'm going to
out.
fix the economy,"
Like
because
level it out. Like level it out. Like level it. Because I remember buying groceries when I was a freshman in college to now is like ridiculous. Gas, everything. Just level out. And I know it's going to take a while, but like taxes, paying people, like rent, like just level it out to a point where it's like doable. Like
Okay.
it could be still expensive, but like doable.
okay, yeah, as long as what you're bringing home is actually matching to
Yeah,
what the
like
price
doable.
is. Now, let me ask you, who do you think right now is dealing with the economy or will deal with the economy better?
Like which party?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm conservative. So.
Okay. So
like-
you think that
Yeah,
they're
Trump,
definitely
yeah.
handling it better? Okay, I understand that. So what do you think they do that is better? Or what policy do you think they employ that will bring that money back to our pockets?
See, like again, like I'm not gonna like speak on something I don't know about.
Okay.
So I don't know I don't look into it that much because.
Okay, so
to
you
me,
depend on them to say, hey.
I look at what my parents vote. I know some
Okay.
people are like a little scared about that, but I've really trusted my parents and how they raised us, and my parents know right from wrong, and my dad is like very like stern on what's right with money and really stern about taxes and stuff. So I vote for what my parents do.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
I think that's fair.
I mean, I just trust them. I mean, I can't form my own opinion because I don't like going down a rabbit hole of politics because A, it gets people going, B, it gets people crazy.
It's stressful
Poor Bella's got to
Like-
work hard now. Look at her.
for your mentals.
I like
Stresses
that
me
you-
out. Stresses me out all the time.
I like that
Yeah.
you brought that up. All right, Bella, I'm going to excuse you.
Okay.
Would you go find someone, like just make one of the other girls that Just make them come in here. Just tell them, hey, you got to go in there. They have questions for you. Because what I want to do, Joe, is, Bella is conservative, but I know some of these other girls out there are not as conservative. So I want to hear from them, too, about this Kamala thing.
Don't rail them too hard.
No,
with
I
an
won't.
open mind.
I think I'm being open about all this.
No, you were.
That's why I'm asking questions and letting them do this. Well, that's why I'm here. I do great jobs. I think it's really important for people to kind of get more involved now than they ever have. Oh, good. I don't even know her name. Come in here. I don't even know your name yet.
Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle.
Hi, Annabelle.
All I know is...
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
So this is Annabelle. Come sit down with us. Enjoy. Annabelle did this really cool video that I went up and I was like, that was awesome. And it was the... who was it again? Oh, Eddie Rosario, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the girls are over there doing such a great job with the Braves Radio Network and the 680 The Fan Girl. Is that what it's called on Instagram?
Fangirl.
That's awesome. All right. So let's talk here. Have you paid attention at all what's going on over the last 2 weeks in politics and politically?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And is it of any kind of interest in you? Are you guys kind of, at your age, how do you look at politics? How do you look at these people who are running and what's going on right now? Like, what do you think going into the election about what's happening right now?
I think I saw this tweet the other day that was like, we're living through like the hardest AP Gov section of like 2052.
Gonna have to write so many DBQs on this.
Seriously. But it's so true. I mean, it's just like every day when I check the news or come home, my parents are like, did you see this? I'm like, it's something new every day.
Is it like
care?
It's kind of tiring.
Is it stressful, or are you just kind of like, whatever?
I mean, this is my first presidential election that I'm voting in. Cool. I voted in the Senate race.
Okay.
I was 18 for that, but I wasn't 18 for the presidential in 2020.
Okay.
So this should be interesting.
So this is your first presidential race, and now, what do you want to, like, what are your goals from here on out, and not politically, but I just want to know, where do you want to be in 10 years from today?
Today?
Yeah.
Hopefully married.
Okay.
Gotta find someone first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Settle down. My dream is to move out west, like Texas or somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Hopefully have a good paying job.
Okay.
I want to work in sports.
You want to work in sports?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for personal level, you want to have a good job. You want to make some good money. You want to buy a house with hopefully someone you marry.
Yeah.
Okay. What about kids? Do you care about kids?
Yeah, I want to have kids.
You do? Mm-hmm. Now, did you come up with an idea of how many?
I think my cap is probably 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Joe, what's your cap? Do you want kids?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think about it.
No.
But I'd be down.
That's part of your future plans, though? Like,
oh, no, I'm not going to be the one. Yeah, it's part of my future plans.
So you're leaving it up like, hey, if I meet someone I love
max.
them, but you're okay with 2 max.
Yeah, I won't be the one pushing it out. So it's kind of...
All right.
It's more the woman's, like, decision.
Now, do you feel other kids today are still focused on growing up, having kids, getting married, and doing those things? Or do you think they're not caring as much anymore? Or has it changed for them?
I feel like it just depends on the demographic.
Okay.
Like my friends, I know we think about our future and kids, but like I know other people that I go to college with that just like are living in the moment.
Okay.
And don't really think about it.
Okay. Now, looking to today, to get to that point, 10 years down the road where you're in sports, maybe you're an executive, maybe you're doing some really cool things, you bought a house, you're married, you're about to have kids. What do you need today? Like, what are you looking at for this election? You're about to vote. This will be your first one. What's the main issue for you? What do you care about more than anything else?
Lower taxes.
Okay.
And just like, I went to go get gas today. It was so expensive. It's just like the little things that add up.
Okay. So it's the economy. The economy really worries you.
Yes.
Okay. And so what do you think we need to do as a country to kind of fix this economy right now? What do you think, like, if you were to be asked, like, hey, this is your job, you got to put something in that's going to fix the economy, what would be the one thing you say, hey, we got to do first?
Well, reevaluate where we're distributing money is a big thing. Maybe like reevaluate tariffs and just everything that's kind of been put in place the last 4 years. See what succeeded, what didn't succeed, and then go from there. Okay.
And who do you think is best right now to implement that plan?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I'm still like, I gotta just evaluate who. Well, the Democrats haven't really officially put Kamala as their representative,
but they're going to.
Yeah, they're going to.
Okay.
And then with Trump, I think him adding J.D. Vance is a good move. He's a good guy, was a Marine, and has a lot of good policies. So we'll see. I mean, I'm a Republican, so we'll see. How the rest of the campaign goes, and I'm pretty sure Kamala's coming here next week. I saw that this morning, so I'm not going to go. But
so, what do you think about Kamala? Like, what do you think about them inserting her into this race right now? Like, and what are your friends like? Do you guys talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, we just haven't heard much about her.
Okay.
I feel like during her presidency, I did not hear like anything significant that she did.
Okay.
I heard that she hasn't even been to the border too.
Right.
Which I found really surprising. Yeah.
Now, how does the border, like, when you look at it, what does the border say to you? I mean, is it an important issue to you and your friends as well? I mean, do you guys care that our border's open?
Yeah, I care. I mean, I feel like everyone has a fair chance to come to this country and make a name for yourself, but it becomes problematic when those people come in here and, don't use it for the right reasons, wreak havoc, and just...
So if they came here, I mean, common sense to me, because I feel the same way, common sense to me is my family came here too.
Yeah.
Everybody's family. But what they did was they went through the entire process. And once they got the entire process, we became citizens. And that's the way it works. I have no problem. If they want to come here, I want to welcome you. You want to be productive and be a part of this society, please come. But I just don't want you breaking the laws to get here. You guys feel the same way? Mm-hmm. Do you think most of your friends feel that way?
I have a couple friends that lean more left, and we have conversations about it because, like, we're all pretty open. Like, some of my roommates lean a little bit left, and it's not like we like bat heads or anything. It's just different preferences. We're from different places too, so it's kind of like your upbringing. But we try to stay informative and in the know. It's hard because like I said, every day it's something new. Something's changing. There's different world news. I mean, like, literally, it's just crazy. The world is a crazy time we're living in. But as to answer your question, I feel like, yes, everyone is informed and everyone tries to stay like on top of it, but at the same time, like, you have to stay true to yourself. And you have to put your morals first, and it's just what person do you want to vote for that best represents you and what you stand for is something I think we need to all take into account.
Where'd you go to school?
I go to South Carolina.
Okay, you're going to,
Oh, gosh, that's what's up. I went there for a year.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, so do you take classes in taxes? Do they teach taxes? What are they teaching you guys in school? Econ?
Yeah,
and you
econ.
Learn about taxes?
And personal finance and accounting.
Okay.
But I'm a sports management major, so like I don't, like, business people probably take econ. I took like general econ.
No, I took econ at KSU.
Okay.
I think I took 2 econ classes.
It just kind of depends, like, what your major is.
All right. Yeah, I got a lot of questions coming in from people. Brad asks, where do people your age typically get the news?
Just like news outlets, like apps like Fox, CNN, that kind of is.
Twitter.
Or sometimes, Twitter. I mean, sometimes I get like there's a news app on my phones, and sometimes, like, if it's like pressing news, like when Trump got shot, that like came up on my Apple News.
It did.
It's like pressing news only.
So everything
I
comes
get mine from the Morning Extra, actually.
There you go. Absolutely. So yeah, but I mean, even I like Apple News, like things pop up. So most of it's from your phone. You don't sit down and watch news, or do
Recently
you?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just interesting.
It is.
It's really interesting. Especially it was weird. I had never really turned on the news, but I turned on Fox News the day the assassination attempt happened.
Okay.
And then I went to go sit outside and just like sit in the sun. Came back in, it's like breaking news. I'm like, holy crap. I can't believe that happened.
I know, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. It was good to get. We're gonna.
Yeah, of course.
How long are you gonna be here? When do you have to go home back to school? Next
They're
week.
done. They're all done next week.
You gonna be sad?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that what's been?
What's your thoughts on Andrew? You like Andrew?
Oh, I love Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Is he still alive? Where's he?
He's at the beach.
Ah, man, that's not fair. I like
But
go
I think
to the beach.
he doesn't go back for school for a while because, like, I'm going back because I am in sorority recruitment.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you?
All right.
I'm a KD.
My sister was a KD.
We have so much in common.
That's crazy.
Did she go to South Carolina?
No, she went to Georgia.
Okay.
Blech.
Oh, yeah. But love Georgia KDs. I've met a couple, and they're great.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, you guys could catch up another time. I don't care about your. What are you guys doing to me? Nobody cares.
Do you
about
care
you
about
guys
the
go
women's
somewhere.
basketball team?
Wait, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I went to a bunch of those
obviously.
games.
Yeah.
Where'd you stay freshman year?
Okay, enough. I've had enough of you.
I was at
Plus, we
Bates
gotta wrap
West
up the
before they
show.
tore it down.
Joe, I'm
That's
about to
fun.
turn your own mic off with my can that I'm about to throw.
Thank you.
My
Go Cox.
Zero-Two.
Yeah, go Cox.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
it was
for
great
having
to
me, Rhino.
yeah.
This was fun.
I hope that we can do it again. Well,
Yeah.
you'll be gone next week, so never mind. Next Friday you
Never
won't
mind.
be here. Will
I'll
you?
be here.
Bye
Okay,
forever.
next Friday we're
Oh,
going to say
okay,
goodbye to
cool.
all the interns. That's what
Are there
we'll do.
any liberal interns?
No, I don't think.
I didn't think so.
Really? This surprised me because
That
we
didn't
cannot
surprise
get
me
an
at all.
intern to work on our show in the morning. Like we can't get anybody to come help us
None
because
of the
they always
guys
say none
either?
of them want any. Yeah.
Really?
Now, wait, let me ask you that question real quick before you leave. I need to know this. I'm glad you asked about guys. Are guys like wimpy and girly now more than ever? Like when you go to school, do you see more feminine men than actual like masculine men?
Yes. Like in my classes where I'm not hanging out with people in Greek life.
Yeah.
Yes. But like most of the guys that I hang out with that are in Greek life, I feel like are very masculine.
Really? Okay, so the ones that join so like frat brothers, like we see on TV, we saw the North Carolina frat brothers protect
Yeah.
the flag. Frat guys seem to be more masculine than just guys who, I don't know, liberal arts students. I don't know what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd agree.
All right. So if for girls, do you think that's more attractive to have like the masculine frat guy, or do you guys want a guy with emotion and a man bun and can't really and wants to like cycle with you?
Yeah. I feel like I'm more of like a 75-25.
Okay.
Like I want someone who is like confident in themselves and
Right.
know what they want, but also like are not afraid to show emotion.
Okay.
And can lean into that.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You want a
All
frat bro that's
That's a little
that
bit
sings
soft.
Taylor Swift in the car.
Yeah,
I got you.
exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's fair. You want a guy
Yeah.
who's able to change the tire, able to, do the lawn, do all that, but will come in and give you a big kiss on the forehead and said,
That'll
hey,
make you a
I
charcuterie
love you,
board.
and here's a
Yeah.
charcuterie
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Perfect.
love that.
I think that's true for most women
Yeah.
Yeah.
nowadays.
I mean, just personal preference.
Jeez. Well, thank you again.
Of course.
Thank you.
Go enjoy
So
your
fun.
day.
Thank you.
CLB joystick. Rhino, I think you live in the mountains like me. Our U.S. rep, Clyde, is not doing a good job either. Very sad. Clyde is yet to Gilmer County, which is being renamed to Guatemala County, Georgia, and no one cares. I do live in the mountains. I have the house in the mountains. I try to get up there as much as possible. I've been down here a lot. So I do like Andrew Clyde. I do understand what's happening. I do think we need to really pay attention to the invasion of our country. I think it's very dangerous right now having these open borders. I'm hoping that come 2025 in January, we shut these borders down permanently. Again, there's nothing more important than the sovereignty of our nation. And right now, our nation is being threatened more than anywhere else. And this game that the Democrats are playing, and I hope that most of you will pay attention to these kind of things, and I know you do, but I hope you get out there and combat the liberals who continue to pretend like the only people coming across the border are of Mexican descent, or what they like to call brown people, because they do have to divide everybody into groups. Otherwise, they would be afraid of the people, and we know they want the people to be afraid of them. So we need to remember that we have people from the Middle East coming across this border. We have people from Russia. We have people from Ukraine. We have people from China, North Korea. We have people from all over the world coming across this border because they hate us.
50,000 from
Yeah.
China and Russia.
Yeah, and it's disturbing. And we're pretending it's only one group. And when you see these news reports that, they just hate brown people, that's not true. We know better than that. And we know that we need to shut this border. So hopefully that'll happen. Donald Trump going to meet with Netanyahu. And I just kind of...
Oh, I was going to say something about the border.
Go ahead. Say something about the border for
I
me.
think that's one of, maybe second most thing I lean right on.
Okay. Why the border?
But I think legitimately...
Tell me, though, why? Why the border for you? Because that is a big issue to me, but it might be
literally just national security.
Okay.
And it really comes down to that. It's not about oh, we want to, no person is illegal. It's like, okay, whatever. It's literally like we don't know who's coming in. Mm-hmm. And they may be good people, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know. And you know,
but we know a lot of them are not good people.
I have a track of that. We have a freedom of
right.
America where, you know, they kind of know. You know, you have a birth certificate or whatever. But and they don't know. And then, you know, definitely with fentanyl, thank God I don't do drugs because that scares me and I don't touch the stuff. But yeah, that's a ginormous issue and that's killed how many people last year? Over 100,000, 200,000?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's a huge issue. I mean, my biggest fear.
I think everyone pretty much agrees with 80%.
Yeah. I think so. I think a lot of people look at the border and whether they want to say it out loud or not, they understand we need to close this border for security reasons alone. We will be attacked on the property, on our own property, in our own homes, and we're seeing it every single day. And when you get that relation to Lake and Riley and see how, you know, a college student was just trying to get through life and hopefully have the same dream as that young lady that was just here. What was their name again? I can't even remember. Annabelle. It was Annabelle. Annabelle has a dream to have kids, and I'm sure Lake and Riley have the same one.
Still live on a farm.
Live on a farm. I love it.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
But it's one of the issues, and to where a lot of times, you know, politicians work bipartisanly, but it's one of the ones where it's like, we're not going to work bipartisanly, so we're going to do the extremes of both. The left wants a complete open border, and the right wants to put people in internment camps.
Do you guys see the games that both sides are playing with this?
Yes.
Does it drive you kids nuts?
It drives me insane. Because I think, legitimately, if I genuinely think the left and right just try to sabotage each other.
Okay.
So it's like the left is complaining, you know, about, you know, well, Trump told everyone not to work on that bipartisan thing. I believe that to an extent, but the left does the same stuff. So it just drives me insane. Nobody's going to be happy.
Yeah, nobody is.
Boo-hoo. You don't like Trump? Okay, well, he's your Republican if you hate Democrats.
Yep.
You don't like Kamala? Well, you going to vote for a Republican? It's like that's the...
I mean, you got RFK Jr.
There's not
who's
going
in
to
the
be
middle.
anyone...
Yeah, who I think is crazy, but whatever.
There's nobody that's going to give you 100%. This country's never going to look the way that you want it to be.
Would you be okay with 10 parties being involved in an election?
I think it should be like 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Yeah, I agree.
Because they're, you know...
Well, the Democrats...
Because it's funny, because we sit on the show and you'll be like, Kamala's a communist. And then there's other people that are like, she's not left enough, brother. And it's, you know, and you have Trump who's a conservative, but then you've got the Mitt Romneys.
Yeah.
And
so you got 4 parties already.
That's 4. Bang. And then
the independents are like, you're all crazy.
Who gives a crap about Green Party?
That's ridiculous.
Whatever.
Yeah. But still let her get in there and let her speak.
RFK is liberal. He's more left than Kamala.
What if we set politics up like college football? Like a Power 5 conference. You gotta win all your primaries up to the Power 5, and then the 5 of you get to fight.
Yeah. It should be something like that.
It's got to be a better way.
There has to be.
All right, we got 8 seconds left before our show's over.
But...
Well,
you know,
Joe,
do you love America? George Washington was the best president of the United States.
I love you, Joe. Well, thanks again to Joe. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to do this every Friday. It's going to get better and better. I do want to talk about one thing real quick. Donald Trump meeting with Netanyahu is one of the biggest signs of what Netanyahu wants for not only his country and the protection of his country, but also for our country. And whether or not you like Israel, there's one thing that you do need to realize. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East that's willing to fight for America. I thought Netanyahu made a brilliant speech in front of the joint session. I thought the one line, more than anything else, was that your enemy is our enemy. Your fight is our fight, and our victory will be your victory. I love that he's meeting with President Trump. He called him that many times, over and over and over again. And there was a reason he called him President Trump. And when he went in and he talked about Donald Trump was the reason for the Abraham Accords. And I thank President Trump for that. I thank President Trump for what he did in the Golan Heights. He brought peace to that region. I thank President Trump for moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem where it belonged. President Trump is the best alternative. We are heading down a dangerous path, and I never, ever will live in a country or feel comfortable as a Jewish citizen living in a country run by a Democrat. I'll never understand any liberal Jew. I won't. I don't get it. Wake up and see what this party is doing and saying and dividing. And that party I'm talking about is the Democrat Socialist Party. They don't like Jewish people. They never have. And they are turning on you. And if you didn't see what happened in Washington, D.C., well, you better wake up to that as well. Brad, thank you. Yeah, I love the playoff politics. This is a good idea. We need to be able to split this. I want to be able to have the moderate Democrats not be held hostage to their ridiculous far left socialist ideas. I also want the same on our side. I agree more with a Donald Trump America First policy, and I know I'm called an extremist. That's why go to my channel at Extremism. I put it up in the chat. Please like and subscribe to that. I'm going to be starting firing them out. I do have the other channel. It's at Extremism00. The only reason that's Freedom Flashpoint, where Adam and I, we officially got demonetized there because we talked about masks, we talked about Antifa and everything else as well. So we got deplatformed there, which is why we started it on mine at Extremism. And Adam and I will be having a lot of great shows as well, Tammy. So I look forward to having all of you join me on those shows. We'll keep going. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you so much to Joe. Thanks to Annabelle. Thanks, of course, to Bella as well. And I can't wait to keep talking to these kids. I'm going to be doing more stuff out on the street with kids, talking to them and trying to find out. We'll have a lot more fun with this channel as we continue to grow. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel so I do have the ability to keep going. You guys have made us really the most popular show on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. I mean, it's the After Show show. Hey, Joe, hit our music. And now we rap. Oh, I got you. See? You got to get better at your job, Joe.
Titties, ass and titties.
No, that's not our music. That's disgusting. Turn it off.
Ass, titties, ass and titties.
This is why we can't have kids running our country. Goodbye, everyone.
Friday. You're here with Rhino and Joe on the After Show